Okay, so, all right, guys, up here, please. So when you're graphing, when you type this into your calculator, the trick, hey guys, listen, please. The trick to remember here is that the number in front of the x squared needs to be a negative, and then that one's a subtraction. And you'll probably get an error in your calculator if you retype that. I know I said that again, but I started my recording over, so I had to say it for the online students. Okay, so why don't you guys, can someone raise their hand and tell me what they got for the x-intercepts when they graphed this thing? Yeah, Michaela? 1. Awesome. Okay, and then can someone raise their hand and tell me what they got for the y-intercept when they graphed this? Morgan?
0, 3.
Perfect. Okay. And then what about the domain? R, good. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what they got for range? Can I have someone new? Oliver.
Y is less than or equal to 4.
Perfect. Okay, direction of opening? Direction of opening? Caitlin? Yeah, good. Concave down. Okay, axis of symmetry. Can I have someone raise their hand and tell me what the axis of symmetry is? How about, yeah, Kelsey? Just -1? There we go. Hey guys, watch that, because on Canvas, on your Canvas quizzes, that's the number one thing you're getting wrong is you're forgetting the x equals on our axis of symmetry. X equals -1. Good. Increasing, is it left or right of the vertex? Good. Left of vertex, right of vertex. Vertex. Morgan.
-1, 4.
Perfect. -1, 4. And then, oh man, eraser. Okay. And then we just need our 5th point, and the easiest one is going to be the mirror image one. Oh my gosh, why does it keep doing that? The mirror image one to that y-intercept there, and the graph looks like this. Okay. All right, so now, basically that's pretty much what we've been doing, right? Okay, so let's go to the new stuff. The new stuff for today has to do with the converting forms part. Now, what form is the equation in right now? Standard form. Good. Because remember, we have 2 goals this unit, graphing and converting the forms, okay? 2 goals this unit. Now, there's something different about the graph on this one. Michaela noticed it. She noticed it was concave down, and all the other ones we've done so far are concave up, right? What's different about the equation on this one? Alex?
You have to divide it by a -1.
I have to divide it by a -1 because which term is negative on this one? The first term, the x squared term, okay? If you have your quadratic tacos handy, you may want to get them out. I want to know what we call that. What do we call that number in front of the x squared? What do we call that? The number in front of the x squared? Huh? It is a coefficient. That's great. But we have a specific name for this coefficient. The one in front of the x squared. Yeah, the negative. What do we call that? I only see a couple people looking at their quad tacos. We have a specific name for the number in front of the x squared. It's not GCF. Well, it actually, no, it is GCF. That's good. We use this name when we do quadratic formula. There's your hint. Yeah. Coefficient's a great guess. It is a coefficient. We just have an even more particular name. Hey, good, Michaela. Hey. Hey. Oh, that's all right. So, here's our new thing that we're realizing is that when A, all right, when A is negative, parabolas flip upside down. When A is negative. So when the number in front of the x squared, you're right, the coefficient in front of the x squared is negative, okay? Okay? When A is negative, then the whole quadratic equation flips upside down and becomes concave down. Okay? Good. All right. We've done this negative with factored form before, so we're going to review that now. But we haven't done a negative with vertex form, so that's the new stuff for today, okay? So let's review the factored form. How do we get it in factored form when there's a negative in front? Okay? Huh? We are going to do a puzzle. You got it. But what do we have to do even before the puzzle? Take out the negative. Get rid of that GCF. So I'm going to start by dividing everything by a negative. So y equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 3. Do you guys need me to walk through the puzzle, or have we done enough of them that you think you could do the puzzle? Can you do it? Victoria?
What do you do with
The negative?
Yeah.
We ignore it for our puzzle.
Okay.
All right, I think you guys can do it. So take like 30 seconds and get me my factored form.
Is your daughter feeling better?
Much better. Thank you for asking.
Did you figure out what she had?
No, they didn't know. They thought it was COVID, but she tested negative.
Did they do like a testing for COVID?
She had nose one because she can't build up her saliva, so she can't do this test. That's about the saddest moment as a mom. Yeah, I know adults that cry with the nose test. Yeah. Hey guys, you should be working on getting your puzzle figured out. Okay, so what numbers? Add to 2, but multiply to negative 3. Tyler, since you're done already, will you come write it up right here for me?
Do you want me to write the box and the puzzle and everything?
Sure. Never. I've never even seen this happen before.
I think it was the batteries. It's like the batteries low and not too bad. It won't.
I'm going to give batteries a little bit more life. Yeah. I've never been defeated by a calculator yet, Gunner, and I won't be now.
Hold up.
Hold on. Something wrong.
Girl,
I did something wrong.
what's negative 3 plus 1?
Give me 2 seconds.
Negative 3. Is the 2 negative? No, it's not.
It's negative 4. What?
You guys are working on it on your own, yeah?
Bro, I'm confusing myself. Is this right? Is it 1 negative or positive?
No, it looks good.
Like this? Okay.
Oh, no, sorry.
Stress myself out.
No. So negative 3 plus 1 is positive 2.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2, right? But we want it to be positive 2. So you do have your negative switched, Tyler.
Yeah.
Should be positive 3 and negative 1.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? Okay. Okay.
All right, I think I'm getting this. But it might take a minute for me to, yeah. So just use that one for now by hand, and I'll help you during homework
It's not
time.
negative, it's positive. Positive, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think yours is right. I saw it. Okay.
Is that good? Hopefully, maybe. Alexis?
Yep. Got it. Yep. Okay, guys, let's take a look. Okay? Hey guys up here, here's the most important part that Tyler remembered. She put her GCF back there. Now, hopefully you guys realize why it's even more important to make sure when you take that negative out that it goes back in your factored form, because that negative actually affects something, right? It affects whether or not my graph is concave up or concave down, okay? Raise your hand if you got what Tyler got when you did that. Good, most of you, good job. Okay, here's the new one. We haven't done a vertex with a negative yet, so that's the new one we're gonna do today, okay? So here's the first thing. The first thing we're gonna do is just like what we did on the last problem, we're gonna take the negative out. So we're gonna start with this, okay? So this is new, so make sure you're with me, okay? So now when I do my vertex form, when I do my extra box, I'm only gonna worry about what's in the parentheses for now, okay? So if I'm only worrying about what's in the parentheses for my extra box, where do I start? Divide the 2, good, divide the 2, okay? So I'm gonna have x squared, 1x, x plus 1, x plus 1, right? We get all of that just by taking the 2x and cutting the 2 in half, okay? Now what? If we were doing a normal vertex form, now what? 1 times 1 is 1. So what would the extra box be? Victoria?
No, I'm confused No, never mind.
You sure?
I can't put it in the word, so like,
I was looking at this.
how did you get this,
No, you got
The 1, the 2,
no, the, like, the equation?
this?
So we put the x plus 3 and x minus 1.
Okay, that would be if my goal was to get from factored to standard. But my goal is to get from standard to vertex. Okay? All right, what's the extra box?
-4.
Okay, -4. Now, normally, all right, guys, here's the new part. Stay with me. Here's the new part. Normally, if I'd just been given what's in the parentheses, my answer would be x plus 1 squared minus 4, right?
Would you just multiply all by -1?
Yep.
So everything.
Not everything, though. Be careful. When I take the -1 and distribute it, I can't distribute it into the parentheses because of PEMDAS. Okay? What's PEMDAS? Very good. My order of operations, okay? My order of operations tells me I can't make these things in here negative because of the squared. The exponents have to come before multiplication. So it just stays out front, okay? But what does change is the extra box, okay? What does change is the extra box.
Is that usually how it always is? It can only change the next.
That's all. It's not the y-intercept, the vertex, the range number, right? And yes, that's always how it is, okay? All right, What questions do you have before we practice a couple more? Any questions before we practice a couple more? Anything? Not yet. You guys are doing really good on the graphing and key features part, so I will let us save some time by just practicing the new thing, okay? So I won't make a graph again because you guys are doing great on that, okay? So let's go to this next one. Okay, what form is this one in right now? It's in vertex form. Is this one going to be concave up or concave down? So which form do I look at for concave up or concave down? Do you guys have any guesses? Which form do I look at to decide if it's concave up or concave down? Vertex? Michaela says vertex. Do you guys agree?
Can't you look at vertex or standard?
Okay, Oliver thinks it's vertex or standard. What do you guys think?
Look at any of them.
Okay, Victoria says any of them. Why?
Because doesn't it only matter if there's a negative or not?
And if there's a negative on one of them, look,
Yeah.
there's a negative on all of them. That was supposed to be a highlighter. So look, if there's a negative on one of the forms, there's a negative on all the forms. So I agree, you can look at any of them to decide if it's concave up or concave down. Make sense? Okay, good. All right, let's go ahead and I just want to practice this new stuff. I won't make a graph again. Okay, so can I go straight from this vertex form to factored form? No, what do I have to do first? Standard form. Now, when I do the box, though, to multiply this out, I have to take out my negative. Okay? So that's the new thing. So if I'm going to get to standard form, I need to start by taking that negative back out. So, do you see? I just took it away from in front of the parentheses, but it didn't change these because this isn't affected at all because of PEMDAS, right? So all it did is make that one negative. Okay? If it helps, let me write one more interim step if it helps, if you're struggling with that. It's like I'm taking a GCF out and I'm dividing that by a negative and that by a negative. So I'm left with a negative and then x minus 1 squared plus 4. Good? Okay, so now we'll do our normal multiplying out. If I do my normal multiplying out, then I have, or what goes in the extra box? I'm trying to get to standard form. So what do I put in my extra box? 4, good. And where do the x minus 1s go? Inside the box or outside the box? Outside. Okay. X times x? X squared. X times negative 1? Again, negative 1x. Negative 1 times negative 1? What's negative 1 times negative 1? Positive 1. Two negatives make a positive. Now, how do I use this box to get to standard form?
Wait, I thought that was the standard form.
It's almost there. I take everything from the inside, Michaela, and do what with it? Yeah. X squared minus 1x minus 1x. I add all 5 boxes together. So x squared minus 2x plus 5. Wait a minute. I thought we just decided that if there's a negative on one form, it should be on all the forms. Yeah, I haven't brought that negative back in yet. So here's my standard form. Y equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 5. How do you guys feel? Do you want your homework or do you want me to do one more? Victoria?
Why can't we just like leave out the x when we go to factor form, like, and then add it back in after? Because like if we have to add it in and then just take it out, that's kind of annoying.
That's fine as long as you remember to put it back in after.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not going to make you go to factored form on this one because it doesn't have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I just want to know. Do you guys want me to do one more with you or you think you're ready to do homework? Homework? Okay. All right, good work, you guys. That's it for today.